Hello there, and welcome back to episode 46 of the Savage Land Season 4. We will today witness the construction of water power here in Ross. Hopefully nobody will kill himself. I'm not quite fond of that. Whoa, they actually... So my whole plan has a problem, and it's really good that we found it out this way. So I need to revert everything here, I just realized. The whole power generation needs to happen one level higher. I just realized that the problem is the construction of a standard water pump. Well, I'll draw it up here like that. The construction pattern of a standard water pump looks like this. You have these two channels here, and then you have an opening here and an opening here. But as I saw just there, I think due to the fact that we're sitting on an ocean tile, this whole thing will just collapse the moment I take out this tile here. This will all just fall into the ocean. I think that's a mistake that I just haven't seen coming. Like I keep saying, I keep learning so much in this with this project and with this fortress. It's yeah. Oh, I should really delete these before they do something silly. Now, that means though that we'll have to do a different we'll have to do it a different way. And there's another coffin. So, since I have been living under the impression that my fortress is so stuffed with work orders, I'm going to manually take care of the many mandates of the Crazy Queen. So yeah, that's a piece of news. I already have a solution. I just thought we could do it easier. I thought I would be smart by just sourcing the water out of the ocean, but turns out I wasn't. So what we're going to do instead is going to be a very classic water generator where we have water basins in the level above. That's the only way that I see this working. But this also puts me to the point where I say, well, it is as it is. We're going to make the pump stack pillars really large ones. I don't care anymore. I don't want to be reconstructing things again and noticing that there is not enough room for things. So I'll just say we have two pillars that are really wide and the rest of them are narrow, and that's how we're going to work with this. All right. So we'll have to build floors up here as well. Oh dear. The whole project just grew in magnitude again. But whatever. I'm starting to get used to that. I'm starting to calculate in these little things that I surely haven't thought about yet and such. So yeah, we'll see this project completed maybe something around episode 110 to 120 at this pace. Well, just kidding here. I don't think it'll be that horrible, but I really feel like I keep underestimating the task time after time. Alright. But at least with all the stairwells being done now, my workforce is very focused now. As you see here, the whole cluster of walls is getting built pretty fast. And I realized that I want to work on my habits a little bit and keep work orders a little bit more compact. Snatchers. Oh, let's follow them. So yeah, let's send the bands of metal. They are probably my most disgruntled squad, so let's see how this will play out. This way the goblins actually make it into the fortress. they use the entrance here. We have a hot battle ensuing on the bridge. But this guy's getting chopped to pieces. Alright. Now we have goblin gunk all over the bridge. Great. It's going to traumatize the bridge workers. Well done, you stupid goblins. Running exactly where my workers will have a problem with it. Damn it. Ugh. Well, alright. What are you holding? Gabbro blocks. He's frail, though. Anger-prone. Hateful. And merciful, though. I wouldn't want to get tended by that bone doctor. The hateful bone doctor. But he's at least also merciful. Elves? The elves are here! Kill them! They're... These hypocritical elves! Did you see that? They went in there and killed my animals! My poor llama! Seriously, elves? What kind of monsters are you? Wow. This puts a whole new level on this entire thing here. My poor animals. These monsters. They're gonna pay for that. I didn't do anything except for chopping free my entrance here. Can they please take a look around how many effing trees I let live here? Okay, we're done with that. It's gonna be a genocide. On the trees first, and then on the elves. Probably different fortress. But they're living up here? Alright, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Everything was okay until they started killing my animals. I'm down for a little bit of warfare. I don't take it too personal either. But if they get into my pasture and start murdering my animals, I'm out of fun here. Wow. When I started playing Dwarf Fortress, I always thought that people were over-exaggerating with their hate against elves and all the like. I think differently today. I truly think differently today. And tell you what, we're going to put the corpse stockpile right at where we're going to expand it. Right around the entrance of our fortress. And on the hilltops. And... oh dear, I think this is escalating a little bit on me. My poor animals. My poor animals, guys. I really am shocked. Alright. That, I mean, on the plus side, it does give me a little bit more room to work for my animals. You know, I was already pretty unhappy about the fact that they were all over the place and the like, but not like this, guys. Not like this, you elven. Alright, so we're going to go and floor this place with dolomite now. So I have a visual change between these two layers. And we're going to issue construction jobs for the corners first. So they will not be hindered by any form. I'm still digesting that. Why are the animals, the children now happy? Feels free remembering wearing tattered clothing. What? First up, we're working on picking up new fabrics for our clothing. We're currently constantly reproducing clothing, so please. Alright. I don't have it in me for now to set up the justice system. because we would need to set up an entire squad and such, and I just don't want to right now. Alright, so currently roughly a quarter of the fortress's population are unhappy. This is really getting problematic, because we still have to consider a year or two of construction work here. So I probably need to consider a therapy year of sorts, because people here, let's see. Mostly acquiring objects is something they really didn't like, and let's see in their memories. So there's goblins suffering major injury, guilty dwelling upon being able to rest and recuperate. What's wrong with you? Wait a sec, you're... This guy... 111, that's one of my old fortresses, so... Let's see. The decay of a friend. All those happy thoughts. Okay, decay of a friend. I wonder what that is referring to. This is something I really also hope that the user interface will grow better at, to give us a more precise readout. What friend? Who exactly? You know? The data is there, we just don't get it to read, you know. It's a little bit sad, because it's certainly a possibility. But if I add up these numbers, I get to a total number of 44 unhappy dwarfs of 188. This is making me a little bit concerned, but on the other hand, we have 120 really happy dwarfs, and the neutral space in between is not too large, so... Well, it's just like the entire religion. It's all love and hate with these. Or love and death, I should rather say. I accidentally founded or played together with a culture of goth dwarves. They are so darn goth. Well, what you get, eh? Alright, so we're going to put up the water generator now up here, upstairs, because obviously we need that. It's kind of a pity, because I was really curious to find out if we can do it ocean-based, but to do that I would need to drive a pillar into the ground here, somehow, for that whole construction to rest upon, which I'm currently not willing to dive into. I know it is possible, but I don't know if it is possible for such a deep ocean without starting to drain that thing. Don't know. I've heard the screw pump method, but that screw pump method didn't tell me how to work with a gap of 4 Z levels, but there's always something to learn tomorrow. Alright. Let's check back with the Gabbro pits. I am really eager to see. So first bad news. The Gabbro pits are no longer Gabbro pure. Here we have a huge change in terrain. So as I see here, these pillars here are also marble. So we might already have struck a different vein here. If we go upstairs, though, marble intrusion starts more like here, so... Yeah. There's still a lot of Gabbro left, but we're starting to hit some kind of limits, and I'm starting to be happy that I have that phyllite still as an option for a stone which happens to have the exactly same color. I didn't expect that this might happen, but probably it won't happen. Probably we have more than enough stuff to work with, but we'll see about that. I really don't know, but I'm outright shocked by the sheer amount of Gabbro that we're putting into this project. So I'll take that as a lesson for future projects as well. So if you ever see a castle made out of jet or quartzite or claystone, whatever stone type that is not as abundant as other stone types, I just felt a little bit more awe in me rising because of these things. Dwarf Fortress is a weird game. You start to realize the impressiveness of things much later when you are deeper in the game, and at first you're really confused about all the dwarf babble that people have going on everywhere, and you wonder why the hell is everybody thinking that this game is so great. But when you get into it, it's unveiling. It's just the depth of social and social development also in here that I really do like. No other game that I played before did take so much passion into considering how societies are formed, how religions are formed, how relationships are formed. All these things are taken into account here as good as possible. It's crazy. I've never seen a game doing stuff like that before I ended up here. Alright. But in all fairness, if you like games like Dwarf Fortress, but you feel like it's too hard to get into, I strongly recommend still RimWorld, which is a much more accessible variant of this one. Okay, but we got that part here done. Last piece of wall getting plugged in. So the plan now is quite simple. We are going to uncheck Dolomite and recheck Gabbro, and now we can have a checkered vision, so gray, whatever this color is supposed to be. Either way, I can now see what kind of level I'm on because I do a color change each level. So finally, that plan comes to execution as well. So this will be my second pump stack tower, and this will be just a normal tower. So I feel like starting to draw some walls here and there, because we're gonna get through these parts now bit by bit. I finally have workforce open. That darn staircase was such a nightmare. And I decided to build now the layers, the walls level by level, because this is much simpler than issuing the entire command up ahead of the time, because the it will only end up with errors in the system always, and therefore I'll just stop it. There we go. Let's build those coffins. Alright, so 42 unhappy dwarves. The unhappiness is receding. That's good. Probably we are lucky, and it's also been the ambushes of the goblins and the elves. I have to say, this is really shocking to me. And yeah, well, if this is combat trauma, it will recede over the course of the time. Alright. So, now to the really unlikable question. How do we build this entire water generator thing? So I'm going to go and deconstruct parts here. So, I mean, the principle will stay the same, but yeah, we're going to go with the entire construction here. So I really hope that this will hold now, but it should, because we're now going to put, let's see, we're going to need a water basin here. Wait a sec, is that even possible right now? Yeah, it is. So we fill in water here, it'll flow around there. Then we'll have another basin here. So we'll have to seal off the entire construction like this. Yeah. And we're going to construct ramps in here. Or do we? Nah, we don't need to. And this should work also without ramps. And if they are derping up something, we will just rescue the jurist in question. No problem. So, we'll have to destroy that part here too, so we have now the full footprint of the water generator. Okay. I really hope that this pillar will have the necessary room in there to get the job done. I'm a little bit afraid all of a sudden that I might have mucked up the whole thing, but whatever. We'll see about that. So here we have yet another dwarven intelligence test. Let's see if they are getting it done without entombing themselves. Looking good, looking good. Seems as if they are smart enough this time. So this is now the housing of this entire machinery, and as you see here, this is now not collapsing due to the fact that I have a pillar it's resting upon. So, well, sometimes things are as they are. Well, we're going to do the same constructions we did in the last episode, but this time, hopefully, successfully. So, wait a second, there's a wrong in my construction. The water has to be poured in here. So there we go. I feel as if my construction is looking wrong, but it doesn't. Or does it? Well, we'll see about that. It's been a while since I built my last water generator, in all honesty. But this should work. Water will just flow off that pillar. Okay. I mean, if not, we're just going to put it down and rebuild it. It's nothing lost. Oh, wait a sec. We're not going to put in the wheels before we have put in the water. So, no, we're going to use the pit command. And now it's going to be a lot of water pit commands again. There we go. And by the way, I'm doing it like this because this way you get the 3 people convinced to pick up a bucket to fill that thing here. Without that, only one person will just pick up the bucket and fill it there. And it's just always that problem. If you don't fill a pond quick enough, the water will evaporate eventually, and there will be not enough time for one worker to get the job done. All right. I'm really excited now. This might be a big step forward. And at the same time, I do realize that we're getting towards the finalizing steps here in many areas. So for example, here the walls are finally being raised. All those really important things. Okay. Still got no clue how the whole pump stack will work, though. I'm really scared of that whole thing. Whoa! What is happening here? Why are so many people mad all of a sudden? So... trauma? Trauma, and arguments, alright? Alright, so in a nutshell, it's just the construction work getting the best of them. Alright. I can already foresee that one day in the future, there will be only like 50 dwarves left in here. All madness-ridden, carving coffins and etching leggings all day, being shouted at by a mad queen, and nobody will know how many people have died in the endeavor of building this madness. Well, we do. Alrighty. I'm really shocked about the morale break-ins, but, well, it is to be expected. So, the real exciting and interesting question here will be, how long will it take until they finally get the water in? It would have been so much easier if we would have been able to prime the generator just via ocean water. I mean, technically we could. Technically, I could drill a hole somewhere here into the ground and pump it upstairs. We would be capable of doing that. This would be only a minor construction. But, well, I prefer the bucket brigade. For whatever reason that is. It's simpler, that's why. Alright, but there's still that huge population migration going on here on the bridgeways. But I don't see any reason to go easy on them or lower the tension. I don't think that this is roleplay-wise what a society with such extreme beliefs would do. I don't know. When I checked out that religion, they looked pretty extreme to me. Alright, look there. It's the first puddle. Nice. So we can bring in the construction of the first water wheel here. Thankfully, dwarves are able to move diagonally, so they can still reach there. Wait a sec, we're not going to open the hatch here already. We're going to do that later. And now, if we wouldn't be filling that fast enough, the water in here would just evaporate. Will just evaporate, I should rather say. Alright, my friends. This is finally getting somewhere. Because if I am looking at it correctly, I'm now finally building the walls of all the holding pillars. The only pillar which we're not completing right now is the other pump stack pillar, which is totally intended to because I wanted to launch a prototype here before I rebuild my mistakes a second time. Because I bet there will be mistakes, lots of them. Yeah. Oh, today I learned that I can also do farming on a block floor. I didn't know that. So, well... Oops. Here we go. So I hope that this will get used. I have no clue if tiles where a water wheel is hanging into will be also filled with water, but I do know from experience that eventually this should work. I mean, I don't know if we could set up a water source like here. Let's do this. This should actually get it done faster. I mean, it would be quite idiotic from them to go for the well every time when they can't just put up water here, but I'm not sure if it works like that. Could be that they're like, that's no water source, Eurist. And they're not gonna do it. But either way, we're finally making progress in this end. We're making progress at many ends. I'm very, very relieved about that. But the elves, man. The elves. We now know what Season 5 will be all about, my friends. It's not gonna be the mountain home. No. Before we will build the mountain home, we will teach those punks up there a lesson. Because one does not simply walk into the pens of Koganaros, slaughter, and afterwards preach me to not hurt any lives or something like that. You're busted. You guys are... You're just busted. Alright, so let's see. And here you can see already the evaporation working against us. And the unhappiness levels are rising. Migrants are coming on into Koganaros, which is really terrific because somehow I was afraid that there will be no more immigrants anymore. But, well... Anyways, my good friends, it is sadly time to say goodbye for today. But before I leave, let me chop down a few of these ruddy trees, because we don't show no mercy for them anymore. We will make as many things out of wood as possible in the upcoming episodes, and I thank you for being around. Drop me your comments down there. I'm so eager and happy to hear from you, and as usual, a thumbs up would be deeply appreciated, and of course, consider subscribing. And also, I want to thank the supporters of this channel. You guys are enabling me to make these wonderful stories that we all like, and I am deeply appreciating. And if you want to join on in, check out Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee. They are the topmost links up there, and I'd be really happy if you'd give them a look. But I'm most happy about... Geez, my words are failing today. I'm most happy about you hanging out here and watching these videos because, you know, the series would be nothing without you, all of you. And therefore, thanks for being around. Thanks for being such a wonderful audience and such a wonderful community, all you Dwarf Fortress players out there. And we're going to wage war on the elves soon. That's what we're going to do. But not for this fortress. This fortress just builds a bridge. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.